Let's have a chat about France then. Fabien Galtier has named his squad that is going to tour Argentina. They've also got a game against Uruguay. Those games should be a lot of fun. And French rugby, whilst at the very top level, when it comes to winning the Six Nations, when it comes to the World Cup quarter-final, the margins are very small and they have not achieved what they wanted to achieve. Everything is stacking up incredibly well for French rugby at the minute. The top 14 has signed a €700 million TV deal. The clubs are solvent, well-funded, well-administered. There's a ridiculous amount of young talent coming through. And, well, you can see a lot of it in this squad that Fabien Galtier has named. The top 14 season, one thing you will say about it is it's so long. The semi-finals of the top 14 are this weekend. The final is not till next weekend. So none of the big guns are travelling with the French squad. There is no players from Bordeaux, from Toulouse, from La Rochelle, from Stade Francais, the sides that are in the semi-final. That is basically the whole France backline. When you look at Bordeaux and Toulouse, well, there you go, there's the French backline gone. Huge chunk of first choice pack as well between those sides, and then you think La Rochelle with Aldry and Winia Tonio and the like. The pack from Toulouse, Malvaca and Marchand and Meafu and Roumain and Crow. So yeah, well, that's not even mentioning some of the other clubs. So this is a young side. This is what France do. They send a load of kids away on their summer tours because the top 14 is so long. But it works really well for France because they have got so many great players that Fabien Galtier gets to have a bit of time in camp with, have a look at, and look how well some of those young guys have done in recent seasons. Like, for example, there is no Nicolas Deportier. He's now solidly in the French camp. But there's an opportunity for some other young guys, which I will talk about on this video. If you appreciate your rugby content, if you're looking forward to the international rugby this summer, hit subscribe on the channel, give the video a thumbs up and your comments down below. This actually, by the way, the one thing I think about when I see this French squad is this is one reason why the Nations Cup idea that is coming in a couple of years' time, apparently, I don't think will ultimately work to the degree that World Rugby want it to work, because France are not going to play their big names in the summer test series. So, I mean, my issue with the Nations Cup idea is that it detracts from the Rugby World Cup. But actually, I don't think it's going to have the kudos that they want, because France aren't going to take it seriously because they're going to send a load of kids. They have got crazy depth. Let's have a look at the pack firstly. Now, not a youngster, but good to see Demba Bamba back in the front row. But in terms of tight head props, look no further, and I'll go through a few players one by one. Tevita Tatafu, 21 years of age, Tongan origin. He doesn't even qualify, so you're not going to see him play this summer. He's just travelling with the French national team. This is how much they think of Tevita Tatafu. An absolute beast of a player. He's travelling with the French squad and he doesn't even qualify to play for them until the November tests, by which time he will be eligible to play. He made his top 14 debut. Bear in mind, he's 18 years of age. He's a tight head prop. He was 18 years of age when he made his debut. You hardly ever hear of 18-year-old tight head props, especially in the top 14 where it's just a land of giants. He is so good. He's actually really mobile, great ball carrier, good hands, great jackler, surprisingly. I have loved watching him play for Bayonne. They play such a fun style of rugby. And another 150 kilogram mutant that France have got their hands on, and another one that's in the squad there you'll see is well, he's already made his debut, but Poso Tuolangi. So there's some big old units in that squad. The next one, Hugo Oradu. Now he is, I reckon, a couple of years when he's bulked up, put on a stone or two, this guy's going to be a serious second row. He's plays for Pau, 20 years of age, 18 starts in the top 14. That's serious because, again, as I say, you're mixing it with some big old boys. And what I like about Hugo Oradu is he's just a very smart, very intelligent, like line-out captain kind of forward. He's got sort of captaincy feel about him in the years ahead. So definitely one to watch. And I'm quite excited that he's in. Those are the ones for the pack that I wanted to look at. And there are more forwards than backs in that one. Those are the two names that jump out to me that I'm most excited to see how they get on. The backs, there's only 13 of them, but interesting to see Antoine Frisch. Obviously at Munster, was Ireland eligible but not used. He's now in a French squad, and and could actually be used and get that debut. So good for him, debut. But I've got 3 players in the backs that I'm really excited about. And the first of those is Baptiste Jonot. There are 3 scrum halves in the French squad, all of them called Baptiste. You love it. Serran, Quiou, they've both played for France before. This guy hasn't. He is the real deal. He is another youngster, Clermont-Auvergne, rapid. And his highlight reel for this season is insane. Clermont finished the season really strongly, and Baptiste Jonot was a massive part of that. He is electric. How many good scrum halves does one country need? His acceleration off the mark and sniping around the breakdowns and on those support lines, just like Dupont, is absolutely amazing. Watch out for this kid. Another youngster, Emilien Gueton. He's been around the French squad. He made his debut for France in one of the World Cup warm-up games before the World Cup. Wasn't picked for the World Cup squad. I thought he might have been. He can play on the wing. He is a centre. He's 20 years of age, and he's made 27 appearances for Pau this season, 25 of them as a starter, as an outside centre. He is as exciting as any player on the planet for me in that position. He's such a turn of pace, good distribution skills, tall, big. The kid's got it all, and only 20 years of age. And it's worth remembering, maybe the only losers out of this French squad are the French under-20 squad, because the French under-20 World Cup is in, the games start next weekend, and a load of these players are eligible to play for the France under-20s. Final player that I'm going to put on your radar, Theo Atisogbe, another player from Pau. They've got a good young crop coming through there, and 19 years of age. This guy is absolutely rapid and an intelligent rugby player. He's not a one-trick pony. He's done. I've seen him do some beautiful little chip kicks, intelligent offloads. 26 starts for Pau in the top 14. So playing up against guys like Damien Penaud every week, and he's made 26 starts, aged 19. This has been a breakout year in the top 14 for this guy, and I'm so excited to see him in French colours. When you think Louis Biel-Biarré, he's been around for a couple of years now. He's only 21. It's insane. And there's great players that aren't even in the squad. Remy Baget from Bayonne has had a brilliant season. Love watching him. Can't even get in. And this is, as well, let's not forget, a kind of backup squad. France, I'd say France and South Africa at the minute have levels of depth and talent that is unmatched anywhere on earth. And they could be the dominant teams for the years ahead. Anyone else you're particularly excited about there? Anyone else that's not even in the squad that you think? What do you make of the fact that France send a load of kids out every summer? Would you like to see your country do that with their summer tours? We always talk about players play too much rugby. Well, after the semi-final and final, Aldry and Francois Crowe and the rest of the big guns for France, they're all going to put their feet up for a little while and let the youngsters do it. I quite like that. I'd like to know what you think. See you on the next one.